shower for the past month and decided I didn't want to do it until I realized we didn't have enough people, and so I decided I guess I'll have to. So I'm probably a lot of people's horror dating story. Alan can vouch, he's known me for many years. I like to tell my terrible stories of my love life to all of my friends. I'm a bit like a hurricane. There's a lot of just destruction and chaos, and maybe if you're lucky, you'll find me calm at some point or another. But this story is about my first love, which is very wonderful. And the most important thing to know about me is when I was 16, I almost died. And I had this rebirth and revelation afterwards, thinking I'm gonna live the life that I want, I'm gonna be super brave and bold and out there with the world and courageous. And so the first thing I did naturally was cut all my hair off and dye it blue. Around the same time, I started working at the Thought Lot, which my dad had started to take over at the time, and I was sweeping floors and scrubbing toilets, all the glamorous stuff that comes with working in the music industry. And I met this boy, and he was so handsome. He had these broad shoulders and this mess of blonde curly hair and these bright blue eyes that I always knew when they were on me. And he was the first person that ever made me feel like I was capable of being somebody in the world. And he was able to do this just by looking at me and winking at me from across the room and giving me a hug and telling me good job at the end of a show. He was a musician, he was very talented, he was the lead guitarist, which, you know, makes all the girls swoon. And everybody I knew was madly in love with him. And he was a fair bit older than me, so of course I knew that nothing was ever gonna happen. I was never going to be able to confess to him my true feelings for him. But we ended up working together very closely, and we became really good friends. And he became the person that more than anyone else in the world I trusted so much. When I would have these horrible panic attacks, I would go to him, I'd sit on his back porch, and he'd play his grandfather's mandolin, and he'd tell me about how life is all about perspective. In comparison to the stars, what are our problems? And I would sigh and roll my eyes because I felt like he was dismissing my problems, but even just in those hot summer moments out on the back porch with a close friend, I felt like maybe I could continue to be the person that I wanted to be. And so time goes on, we work together, we accomplish a lot of great things. We had music videos reach the front page of Reddit. We had a lot of really great accomplishments as far as our music careers went, and I felt really excited to be able to go along for the ride and be the person that was going to be supporting him and backing him and doing all this work for him. And the summer comes around, and I start getting fewer and fewer texts and fewer messages, and I start seeing him less and less, and we just sort of start to fade away from each other. And I see one of his good friends at a festival nearby, and he looks at me and he said, "You know, we're not going to be doing this much longer." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he told me that this man, this very sweet boy with the blue eyes and the blonde curly hair that made me feel like I could do anything in the world, somebody that I considered to be my best friend, had decided to join the Navy, and therefore the band would no longer be a thing. And he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me that there was a good chance that after the end of the summer I was never going to see him again, that he had put himself in a position where it was pretty likely I was never going to see him again. And it was the most hurtful thing that has ever happened to me. And the spring came around, and he left for basic training, and he never said goodbye. And it's been 4 years, and I've never seen him. And it weighs heavy on me, knowing that this person that I cared the world for left and never said goodbye. And there's always this question mark at the end of what our lives could have been had we finalized things, had we, as the air conditioner's going off, that's wonderful. And so it's been 4 years, I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him. I still see him on his sister's Instagram page every now and then in Paris or wherever he is now. And that was my first love, and I still think about him a lot. I have dreams about him, and I always wake up crying in my sleep because I wonder if I could just see him one last time, what I would say to him. And I guess in the end, it's like he said, love is all about perspective, life is all about perspective, and in the grand scheme of things, unfortunately, this is the one that has stuck with me all this time.